Alright, this is actually crazy. Aura just dropped a new feature. And honestly, this changed everything. You can now take any HTML, design, and convert it directly into React. You can literally remake existing design inside Aura and instantly turn them into React component. So instead of starting from zero, you're building on top of already polished layout. But wait, this part is insane. You can paste any website link and Aura will analyze it, duplicate the design, and then you can convert that into React too. So now you have two ways to build depending on what you need. If you want something fast, simple, and ready to ship, HTML is still perfect. But if you're building something more serious like a SaaS, a product, or anything interactive, React is just better. Everything is component-based, reusable, and way easier to scale and maintain, and honestly, that's why I personally prefer using React. Now, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to convert to React in 3 different ways. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's start with the remix option. So what we're gonna do is explore the design from the community. So you can take any design on the community or it can be on your own profile. So let's say I'm going to take this one. First, click on Use as Pro. Then here you can describe how you want to remix the design. For example, I will write something like adapt this into a modern AI SaaS landing page. Keep the premium dark style and overall polished structure, etc. So basically, we're not starting from scratch. We are using an existing high quality design and letting AI transform it into something new. And once that's ready, you can just click on Convert to React. And that's it. You're taking a full template, remix it, and turn it into a React ready project in seconds. Now, once you launch the remix, it may take a few minutes to generate, depending on the complexity of your prompt. On the left side, you will see the build progress in real time, with all the steps showing exactly what the AI is going behind the scene. So it's not just loading blindly. You can actually follow the whole process. You will see things like structure generation, layout update, styling, everything being built step by step. And as those steps complete, you will start seeing green checkmark appear. That basically mean that part is done, reviewed, and validated. So you know everything is progressing correctly. Once everything is green, your design is fully ready. Now, sometime you might run into this kind of error. Don't worry, this is normal, especially since the React feature is still in beta. If that happens, you don't need to fix anything manually. Just click on Ask AI to fix error. Aura will automatically analyze the issue, understand what's missing or broken. Sometimes when you generate a design, everything works perfectly. And sometimes you might run into a few errors, depending on how complex the design is. The more complex your design is, with heavy animation, effect, or advanced layout, the higher the chance you will see small issue. And the simpler your design is, the smoother generation will be. That's totally normal, especially since the React feature is still evolving. But the good thing is, most of these issues are easy to fix, and Aura usually have you handle them automatically. Now you might notice the result is not always 100% identical to the original HTML design. For example, some complex background or effect might be simplified and sometimes a few sections can be missing. And that's actually normal. Because when Aura convert to React, it's not just copying the design, it's rebuilding it into a clean component-based structure. So the goal here is not perfect visual cloning. It's to give you a solid, scalable React foundation. And from here, you can easily tweak, refine, and enhance the design however you want. Now, one thing to understand here. Aura doesn't automatically save every chain as a snapshot. You actually have two options. You can click on Save to keep your current change, or click on Save as Snapshot if you want to create a version that will appear in your history on the left. So snapshots are basically manual checkpoint. If you want to keep a stable version before making change, just save a snapshot and you will be able to come back to it anytime. Now let's talk about something really important when switching to React. If you look at the code here, you will notice it's not just one big file like HTML. Everything is separated into different components and folder. For example, you have a component folder and inside each section of your page is in own file like hero, feature, footer, and so on. Then in the main file like app.js, everything get imported and assembled together. So instead of editing one use page, you're working with small, reusable piece. And that's the main difference with React. HTML is one single structure. React is modular. Each section is independent, easier to edit, reuse, and scale. So if you want to update just the hero section, you go directly into the hero component without touching the rest of the page. That's why React is way more powerful for real project. It keeps everything clean, organized, and much easier to maintain as your project grows. Now I'm going to add a missing section. You do have the option to ask the AI to generate new section for you. But in my case, I want to keep things consistent with my previous HTML design. So what I'm going to do is copy the exact section I need from my HTML version. Then I will paste that code directly into the prompt. And from there, I will ask the AI to recreate, adapt, and convert that HTML into React component. So instead of generating something new, I'm basically rebuilding the same design, but now in React. So it's supposed to be convert the HTML into React. All right, let's see what we get in preview. Okay, nice. This is exactly what I want. Same visual, same layout, just fully in React now. Now let's modify something manually. In HTML, you can usually edit directly in design mode. Click on a section, change the text, and it updates it intensely. With React, it's a little bit different. Let me show you. So let's say I want to change the text of this section. You can either edit it in design mode or go directly into code mode. In my case, I'm going to update the text to the smarter way to track issue. Apply the change. Now here, something important. As soon as you make a change, you will see this button appear, Save as Snapshot. This means your change is not locked in yet as a version. If you want to keep this state, you need to save it as a snapshot. Think of snapshot like manual checkpoint. Every time you click it, you are saving a version of your project that you can come back to anytime. And once you save it, you will see it appear on the left side in your history. You can open it, check the detail, see what changed, how many files were affected, everything. Now let's verify if the change actually applied. All right, perfect. It's there. You can also see just now, which show when the last change happened. And from here, you can preview different versions, compare them, and even undo change instantly if need. So overall, you're not just editing, you're tracking every version of your project while you build. One thing to note with React, you don't have the quick prompt option directly inside design mode like you do with HTML. So if you don't want to edit manually or you're not comfortable with code, you can still use the prompt fill just like before. But here's a useful trick. Let's say you want to modify a specific section, but you're not sure what it's called. Just switch to code mode. Scroll to the area you targeting and click on any element. Aura will highlight the exact component and show you where that section lives. And honestly, everything is really well organized, so it's easy to navigate once you see it. Now, before jumping into prompting, let me quickly fix something manually. You can see this section is getting cut off because of the overflow. So I'm just going to change it from hidden to visible. Now, here's something important about saving. You have two options, save and save as snapshot. When you click save, it applies your change to the current version of the project. So your update is live, but it doesn't create a version in your history. On the other hand, save as snapshot create a restore point. It saves that exact state of your project so you can come back to it later if need. So a simple way to think about it is save, update your current version, save as snapshot, create backup version. Now let's prompt something. I want to enhance this section a bit more. On the issue tracking section, I want the element on the right side to feel more interactive. So instead of staying completely static, I'm going to ask Aura to add a subtle 3D follow cursor effect when I hover over those cards. Nothing too crazy, just enough to make the section feel more alive and premium. Let's prompt it and see what it gives us. So the prompt would be add a subtle 3D follow cursor hover effect to the right side visual card in the issue tracking section, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to prompt it and let's wait to the result. Okay, we can see it follow the cursor smoothly. You can also drag and drop a code file from any tool you like, paste it directly into Aura prompt field. Add instruction and generate from here. So I'm just going to show you a quick demo of how that works. Let's say I don't want a dashboard in the hero anymore. I want to replace it with a more unique visual element and a completely new background. So I will pass the code, describe direction I want, and prompt it. And boom, there you go. We got an update hero. Now I can review the whole design and see if I actually like the result. And if not, I can still keep refining it with more specific prompt until it feels right. All right, next let's get into the reality exciting part. Taking the link of any website and converting it into React. So let's go back to the homepage. Aura gives you the ability to recreate a design from almost any website and convert it directly into a React project. Now, just keep in mind, simpler websites usually give better results. And like I mentioned earlier, this feature is still in beta. So it's not always perfect. You might run into small issue and the result won't always be 100% accurate. But let's test it together. So first, click on the link icon and paste any website URL. In my case, I'm going to use the Stripe website as a reference. Then you have two options here. You can choose exactly if you want something very close to the original or different if you want to keep the style but change the content. I'm going to select the different because I don't want to copy too much. Then click import. Now it's going to analyze the website first. Once that's done, and let's see what it generates. And here you can actually see the Stripe reference in real time. This preview is basically showing you what Aura is analyzing and using as a base. So everything you see here, the layout, the structure, the section, this is what's going to be rebuilt in React. It's not just copying randomly, it's understanding the design. Then recreating it as component. And since I select different, it's going to keep the overall style and structure, but adapt the content, branding, and text. You might notice that some part of the layout aren't perfectly clear, but that's totally fine. It's not a big deal at all. We can always go back, refine it, improve the structure, and even add animation using AI. So think of this as a strong base. And then we just polish everything from there. So now I'm going to refine a few sections by adding animation. For example, I can animate the web in the banner section, add motion to the glow in the hero, and bring the logo section to life as well. Things like that. So even if the first result is not fully finished, it's really easy to keep polishing it with more specific prompt until everything feels complete. All right, we can see a subtle animation on the hero and the logo is moving. And then we can see the web is animated in the abstract banner section. And just like that, with a few quick fix and some small refinement, my website is already coming together in just a few clicks. From importing a design to converting it into React to tweaking section and adding animations, everything happened insanely fast. And the best part is you're not starting from scratch. You're building on top of something that already structured, then refining it exactly the way you want. So instead of spending hours designing, coding, and debugging, you can focus more on direction, creativity, and polish. And honestly, that's where this start to get really powerful. All right, last step. Let's go back to the homepage one more time. This time, we're going to start from scratch using a custom prompt. So I'm going to write something like create a premium multi-page React website for a modern AI SaaS company with a clean, high-end, creative visual identity. And to help the AI get even better result, I'm going to add a reference image as well. This gives it more direction in terms of style, layout, and overall feel. Now, one thing to keep in mind. Sometimes the React option will generate a multi-page website automatically, and sometimes it won't. Depending on how specific your prompt is, you can already see it trying to recreate the background from the reference. It's not perfect on the first try, and that's totally normal. From here, I can just refine it, improve the visual, and adjust anything I want after. And just like that, it even created multi-page for the width, almost no effort. So overall, my website is basically built in a single click, which is honestly kind of crazy. Of course, this is still in beta, but Aura is improving fast, with new feature coming out all the time. So yeah, that's it for today. See you in the next one.